Looks like we're dealing with Bizarro Land and the New York Post changing tone. A lot more coming right up. Happy Labor Day, everyone. Hope you are doing well out there. Yeah, had a little bit of change in the time or the change in the schedule today. Hope you guys are doing well. And I'm going to give a shout out to the loyal patrons, the subscribers, and the Periscope followers. Thank you guys so much for all that you do. And I want to wish everyone a happy Labor Day wherever you are or wherever you may find yourself today. Thank you so much for lending me your ear and taking the time. And if you are out there, you're not sure if you're coming in, thank you so much for considering Black Spring with Autumn news and politics on your Labor Day. So shout out to Derek C. Williams, Killer Whale Channels, The Definition of Anarchy, Chrysler Imperial H, AZ Infidel, Cold War Jesus, and Little Miss Goth. Thank you guys so much for taking care with the Channelytics and for all that you do to support the channel. Without you guys, it doesn't quite hang in there together. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I do have a bit of a statement to begin. It's going to be a little bit casual, but maybe we'll hit some points and we'll meet at the middle. So just for example, of course, we're not short on the anti-functionalist perspective versus the conflict theory these days. And of course, I mentioned what I suspect or what I assert as a shift from pundits, politicians, the media, and maybe more. Who knows even more? Okay, so we're less than 60 days, roughly, approximately, until November 3rd. However, I will say over the weekend and leading up to the weekend, you start to see a little bit more politicians surface or come out. They're emerging from an underground, if you will, it seems. So it appears to be an underground, but I think that's the way that this thing works. It's a seasonal swells, and that's just the way they play or they want to play. So shout out to everybody in the stream, or if you're driving by, you're not sure if you're coming into the stream, but I appreciate you guys for taking care with the Channelytics as you do on Black Spring with Autumn. Thank you so much for that. So just before we get into things, I noticed that, I'm not a big sports fanatic by any stretch. I have an appreciation for athletic ability and agility and all of these wonderful humanistic things and the human spirit, without a doubt. However, it seems that even the US Open has taken on its own thread of victimhood across social perspectives. And it was most heavily displayed on this weekend during the US Open. Now, the match happened to consist of two Black female athletes. And of course, I'm sure you're familiar with one. She happens to be the biggest star, or one of the biggest stars, or some people refer to her as the GOAT, whatever you're comfortable with. But the USTA took the liberty of sharing banter on BLM and the movement, and it was a little thick. It was more than disturbing. In fact, Shout out to you, Chrysler Imperial H. Thank you so much for coming in, and happy Labor Day to you. Thank you so much for coming in. And you know, I knew the tone because the stadium was proverbially empty for this match. However, they decided to take a couple of murals and say, hey, we're bringing Black lives to the front of the empty stadium. And of course, and from there on, I knew the timbre of the match. I knew it. Oh, shout out to you, Chrysler Imperial H. Thank you so much for sharing it out. It's a holiday. And a couple of jewels today, even though it's a holiday. However, yeah, so the USTA's chairwoman, she just continues the banter, and who knew they would front load this match? I mean, it lasted for an entire set. In fact, of course, somebody was up. So, I mean, one of the players was directing traffic the entire time, which was I think it was just awkward to hear an entire victimhood monologue. And then even more disgusting, thank you so much, Chrysler Imperial H, for that. More disgusting, she just kept the other commentator apparently happened to be a white American, and she was asking, do I have permission to say this? Ladies and gentlemen, do I have permission to say this? And I was just thinking, what? This is a sport that you're commentating right now. And you are absolutely, shout out to JT Waterman. I appreciate it. It's trying to keep cool around here. We're in it's blistering, sweltering. However, don't worry, I'll be back. But yeah, this is a winter sport. So why are you coming out here with a loser's monologue? Black people are not losers. This is absolutely disgusting. And the USTA, if they want people to bail out, if they want to lose their patrons, then keep it up. Because people are coming to the USTA, or they're coming to the US Open to watch the game. We don't want to hear rhetoric, and we don't want to hear that crap. It's crapola on they're taking every platform to push this permanent loser status of Black people, and I'm sick of it. You've got two athletes that are obviously superior in what they do. They're some of the top athletes in the world. At least both of them has held at least the number 1 or the number 3 spot in the world. So why would you frame a game? Why would you frame that up like that? With the confluence of this pandemic and all of these things going on, people want a release. They want a healthy and a positive, non-biased distraction when they watch sports. Now, I'm just saying, they already had a stadium. Maybe they're projecting the fate of the USTA for women. You're not going to have anybody. You're pushing this whole victimhood thing for a whole set. I mean, I would imagine the set probably lasted 20, 30 minutes. 20, 30 minutes. And I'm just thinking, you're the USTA chair. What are you whining? What are you crying about? Stop it. It's disgusting. You're not helping anyone. And then the thing about it is, she wanted to divert to, oh, well, Stevens has this and Williams has this, but you know what? Those girls made it to where they were based on their ability. They didn't make it, they didn't get to where they are by whining and crying. So it's more of a dishonorable thing for these people to get up here with all this rhetoric and all this garbage. I honestly, I'm not completely naive. I didn't think that it would just go away, but I was just thinking, okay, this is a match that many people have been waiting for. They've been waiting to see Stevens and Williams play, but nobody came here to hear you talk about BLM. Nobody came here to hear that. And see, the thing about all this inversion and all this topsy turvyism, they are using each other to destroy. What kind of movement moves society forward where you have to destroy one person? Why do you have to destroy anybody to move anybody forward? That's not forward. Now, I would think that the Williams sisters would put a stop to this and say, hey, look, don't come out here. Don't present it like anybody gave us these rankings or handed these athletic abilities that we have. Because those aren't affirmative action wins that they had. I'm sick of all of this garbage. I mean, they're at the, I'm not saying that they're in the winter stages of their career, but let's not end it. Not let's have all this triumph and be 20 times something Grand Slam winners, and then you close out on a victimhood. You close out as a loser, as an emotionally segregated loser. That is more than disturbing, and that should give people pause. It's like, who wants to, how much more of the poster child at some point when you're a poster child, you end up you're deconstructing, you're breaking your own achievements down at this point. I'd love to know what the Williams sisters think about them using that platform. They worked to get where they are. Nobody gave those girls their rankings, their winnings, their perseverance, their stamina. Now, to me, if they don't stand up for themselves, if they don't put a stop to it, they're going to lose people that had respect for them. And I'm not saying that, that the thing about it is, at least they're not wearing shorts and bloomers with BLM on them, on the back, their backsides. Now I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt. But that's not a good look, USTA chairwoman. It's not. So shout out for you guys. I'm sorry that was going into a bit of a rave. But see, this is what I'm talking about. This whole culture of victimhood and woe is me and look at me, pet me. You got to take care of me because I'm a pet, and the pet project. Where does that leave you? If you're successful, where does that put you? I would suggest that these people stop playing the role. Stop reading the script. Read your own script. I mean, that is a disgrace to the late Althea Gibson, Arthur Ashe, all of this. So, I'm sorry, guys. It's the rant's kicking up the heat, right? It's driving the heat up. So yeah, but it was just such a soft shell a soft shell commentator. It was depressing. It was demoralizing. It was destabilizing. So I'm like, just what are you saying to the viewers out here? While these girls are out here defending their career, or they're out here proving themselves. They've proven themselves. So this is what I say. They use yesterday's oppression for tomorrow. Using yesterday's oppression for tomorrow. These progressives and these professors who think that they're moving their careers forward and they're moving society forward with victimhood. That is not what it takes to be number one, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, can you imagine? Can you imagine being a number one or a world ranked tennis player only to get out there and to be and to have somebody frame up everything, or frame victimhood around your entire performance? Shit, that's a B-roll I don't want to see. So I'm just saying, poor job, USTA, poor job. And I say to you, tennis stars, stand up for yourself. Put a stop to this. Enough. I'm sorry, that's enough tennis rant. So let's get into the wonkiness. Thanks so much, guys, for coming in. Hope you guys are doing well. Shout out to DJ Vision Barnett. Shout out to Old Head Deuce. Hope you guys are doing well. So we're going to move on here. Had a couple of stories. All right, so we're talking a little bit about, you saw the thumbnail, we're going to talk a little bit about Occupy Wall Street as we're approaching maybe an anniversary coming up pretty soon. We're going to talk a little bit about quite a few things. It looks like, of course, we're going to talk about the pundits and the shift, and maybe the New York Times even getting it right. Are they getting it right, or are they just playing, they're just playing to the crowd? They're trying to move a little bit more center to help or further their agenda. We'll see. So we have that, and we also have, it also looks like, this is, we had the Walkaway founder, Brandon Straka, chased by a mob over the weekend. And we have just one other story. So we're going to get in and out. And we'll have a little bit of demasking of some of these rioters that have been accused in Manhattan. So we're going to get into the confluence of things. Not too much today. We'll try to keep it light. So what we're going to do, we'll go with our first story here. So just a little bit light from the beginning. So we'll bring you to the NY, the New York Post, and their shift apparently. Shout out to everybody in the stream. Hope you guys are doing well. So I'm just going to read this one really quickly. So I'm curious about the motivations here, but we'll find out what they actually are. I'm sure it's a political season. What can I say? We've had resurgence, or we had some people we got politicians coming from underground, media coming from underground, pundits coming from underground. So what you see before you is yours truly, Nancy Pelosi, and this is from the New York Post. This is an opinion piece, by the way. I'll just get in and out of this one really quickly. So according to the New York Post, Nancy Pelosi must apologize for salon violations and stop treating Americans as idiots. Are we in the Twilight Zone? The New York Post? Okay, so I'll continue. All right, so just quit it. It says, Madam Speaker, this I was framed quote stuff isn't flying. You, Nancy Pelosi, have been insistent that everyone needs to comply with pandemic restrictions, which makes your salon visit the rankest of the hippos. That's hypocrisy here at Black Spring, the hippos. Businesses across America are at or over death's edge because of politicians' rules. The least that you and other leaders can do is comply. San Francisco salons weren't even allowed to offer outdoor services until Tuesday. How is anyone supposed to believe you really thought there was some exception that kosherized your indoor visit on Monday? The city also requires masks whenever social distancing is impossible, which clearly covers your unmasked stroll through the salon premises after your wash. Yes, your stylist now backs up the story. She wants to keep working in Lefty Frisco after all. The salon owner who released the damning security tape expects she will have to leave town after all the threats on her life and businesses. The mob doesn't stop, right? Okay, lots of people will understand after months of lockdown, you want to get out for a minor indulgence. Lots of people are cheating and you didn't think anyone else would ever know. But you got caught with no real excuse, and rather than offer an apology to the public, you're demanding one. It doesn't get more imperious. Stop trying to play a victim, admit you did wrong, and then help the rest of us go back to having salon services and indoor dining and in-person school legally. Now, I have to say that is the most staggering thing that I have read from the left, from the media, print media, let's say. Yeah, it's an improvement. It's an improvement. Shout out to everybody in the stream. Shout out to everybody in the stream. Old Head Deuce. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to move on. We're going to move on to something a little bit heavier. Hope everybody's doing well on your Labor Day, and thank you guys so much for tuning in, and thank you guys for taking care with the Channelytics, and thanks so much for Chrysler Imperial for throwing that caution to the wind and sharing out the stream. Thank you guys for staying in the fight here, and and the Channelytics, they do just that. They do just that. Things get a little thick every now and then, but we'll keep going. I appreciate it. All right, so our next story is going to take us, we're going to go straight to our lead-in story, where we were going to do it as the lead-in story. So it's going to take us to the Wall Street, and the Occupy Wall Street anniversary story is where we're going next. Shout out to everybody in the stream. Okay. Hope you guys are keeping cool where you are. Okay. All right. So with this, what you see before you, it comes from our friends at the JBS. Thank you guys so much for all that you do. And I'm going to give you a few words from our friends. Just a few words from our friends at the JBS. All right, so this segment of our show is brought to you by our good friends at the John Birch Society. Less government, more responsibility, and with God's help, a better world. The JBS is a constitutional and educational organization that has been around for over 60 years. dedicated to upholding and defending the Constitution and working to preserve our freedoms and liberties in this country. The JBS does not endorse any political party or candidates. Rather, it focuses on education, training, and development of the American voters. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I appreciate everything you do. All right, so what you see before you is our piece from the TNA. And I will do a bit of paraphrasing here. So thank you so much, guys. I will put this link in the stream for you. And as I say all the time, be your own best fact checker in these times. Journal, do what you can do. I appreciate everybody for coming in. So here we go. All right, so according to the TNA, Adbusters White House siege to begin on September 17th, which is the 9th anniversary of Occupy Wall Street. Now, this is written by Bob Adelman. According to this, Adbusters, the Canadian outfit behind the Occupy Wall Street protest 9 years ago, is at it again. This time, the target is the White House, and it's all but guaranteed to re-elect the president for a second term, despite the intentions of the revolutionaries in the streets. Okay, so with that said, we'll jump down to the tactics here. All right, so according to this, its tactical briefings expose their revolutionary intentions. According to this, it's been 9 years since we set off the political earthquake of #Occupy Wall Street, laying siege to the NYC's Zuccotti Park and inspiring thousands of similar protests around the world. The Occupy anniversary arrives September 17th, 2020, and it may be the perfect day to trigger another global Big Bang moment, a massive collective action of the sweetest kind of disobedience. The why hardly needs recitation because for these 9 years, the shadows have only grown longer. Inequality has soared. Not a single Wall Street CEO spent a night in jail for his role in the 2008 financial meltdown. Politicians and corporate criminals continue to savage the public trust with impunity. And all the while, the howling void of a president, his sins, too many to name, sits smugly atop a corona death toll that may surpass 200,000 Americans by Christmas. What a forecast. All right, so here's the ticker. Its focus is on Election Day and moving toward the New World Order. #White House siege will electrify the U.S. election season, and it doesn't stop there, drawing wind from #MeToo, #BLM, #Extinction Rebellion, and protests against Trump's lethal bungling of the coronavirus. While inspire a global movement of systemic change, a global spring, a cultural heave toward a true world order. Lafayette Square may be cordoned off, and military police will doubtless be there in full force. But what can they do if hundreds of thousands of us turn up all over the nation's capital day after day and start playing totally non-violent improvisational jazz, much like we did in Zuccotti Park 9 years ago? #White House siege has an ominous ring to it, but it could turn out to be the most beautiful, festive, and effective uprising that America has seen since the revolution. Together with history watching, we can electrify the election season and win. Shout out to everybody in the stream. So we'll close this one out with, it's likely to end badly for protesters. Occupy Wall Street began in Zuccotti Park, located in New York City's Wall Street Financial District on September 17 of 2011, and ended when they were forced out 2 months later. It's also likely to end badly for Biden. How will he respond to the protest? Will he criticize it, costing him the support of the far-left radicals who've captured the Democrat Party? Will he support it, admitting that he is no, quote, moderate, end quote, after all? Will he reprise President Obama's support of Occupy Wall Street when his president said, quote, the most important thing we can do now is those of us in leadership letting people know that we understand their struggles and we are on their side, end quote. Will he iterate Nancy Pelosi's support of OWS? Quote, I support the message to the establishment, whether it's Wall Street or the political establishment and the rest. That change has to happen, end quote. And finally, we know one thing. Trump will have a field day. He will light up his Twitter account every day, drawing attention to his opposition to the obstruction and the inevitable violence that will take place, confirming his stance to voters of his tough stand and his image as the, quote, law and order president. In other words, the White House siege, if the White House siege happens, it will likely be a gift from Biden to the president, all but ensuring his reelection in November. Thanks so much to the TNA. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you guys are doing well. Shout out to you guys. Chrysler, he says, no, I didn't. I'm finally sick and tired of all I see on the news anymore. It's something about the protests. Don't watch much of the news anymore. It's all starting to get to... Yes, it is. It is indeed. It is just a confluence of Groundhog's Day, elements in the Groundhog's Day every day. Same elements, same tactics, same games. Exhausting. All right, so we're going to move right along. We're going to probably get in and out today as we do. Nobody gets hurt. So the next story that I want to take you to is going to be a clip from the rally that was held in Texas with the walkaway movement. And then I will take you to the final story and we'll move on. Thank you guys so much for tuning in to this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. Appreciate you guys taking care with those channelytics. Hope everybody's out having a great time and flying your flags or whatever you do on this holiday, or maybe you're lighting up the grill. Staying cool, that's the challenge around here. Thank you guys so much for all that you do. All right, so we're going to share this clip with you. Thanks, guys.
We're not taking that. We're being chased by a mob of people outside the police station, a mob of Black Lives Matter protesters. They've already thrown shit at us. The police are not here. We're trying to get away from them. They're attacking gay people. Attacking women.
Are you here with them? Are you here with them? Then you do support.
We're basically running to the end of the street right now because that's where the cops are.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in. As you can see, the tolerance, and as always, I didn't give you a disclaimer on the expletives there or the profanity, but of course, this is their idea of civic discourse. But you can see that they're not quite. The mob is ramping up their tactics. Shout out to CLC in Florida. Happy Labor Day to you. So yeah, the thing about it is now they're starting to attack their own. It's about the revolution. Everybody, it's not everybody, but they'll use whatever banner they can. But it's really not about It's really not about moving any of these groups or these minorities forward. It's not. It's about the revolution. And they've all been in the pot together. They're all in the same gumbo. You know, they call it gumbo, and you've got different elements in the gumbo. But even though you've got these morsels of all these different groups in there, there's still one goal. There's one goal. It is an overthrow. It is not that they are trying to move the femmes forward, or the hippos, or the LGBTQs, the blacks, who else are we going to throw in there? They're not. They're not. Even the illegal immigrants, they're not trying to move them forward. Thanks so much, Chrysler Imperial H. So yes, so it's about the revolution, and they've all come out, and many of these people are paid protesters. There's a paid protest website if you fancy that kind of a bit. So they got to be good for the cameras, right? They got to earn their pay. Heck, I'm not convinced they believe any of these things that they say. But this is what they're paid to do. Thick skin commentary. That's great. That's a great line. Great tagline. So we're going to move on. So I'm going to bring you to something else. We'll see what happens with this. I think this is going to get a little bit juicy. So we have another story coming to you from the New American, the TNA, the friends at the TNA. Hope you guys are doing well. And I have to tell you, from our friends at the TNA, JBS this segment is brought to you by our friends at the JBS. Less government, more responsibility. With God's help, a better world. The JBS is a constitutional and educational organization that has been around for 60 years, dedicated to upholding, defending the Constitution, and working to preserve our freedoms and liberties in this country. The JBS does not endorse any political party or candidates. Rather, it focuses on the education, training, and development of the American voters. I thank you guys so much for sharing your Labor Day and lending me your ear. So what we're going to do is we're going to our next story here, which is actually, I said it's a juicy story. We've got a lot of developments, but this one is I think going to be one to watch, and it involves Matt Gaetz calls on President Trump to pardon Snowden. So we're going to see where that goes. Shout out to everybody in the stream. All right, so according to this, Matt Gaetz calls on President Trump to pardon Snowden. So if you guys are tuning in, what you see before you is our article from the TNA. It's written by John Wolverton II. According to this, I'll paraphrase in and out here. U.S. Representative Matt Gaetz, a Republican of Florida, is calling on President Trump to pardon Edward Snowden. In light of the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals opinion that the NSA surveillance program Snowden exposed is illegal. As we reported last week, the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals issued an opinion that the unwarranted surveillance of telephone metadata as carried out by the NSA is illegal. The three-judge panel did not, however, go so far as to hold that the wholesale collection of electronic communication is unconstitutional, only that it might be unconstitutional. In 2013, Eric Snowden, at the time a subcontractor working for the NSA, leaked to the Washington Post and to the Guardian UK a cache of documents exposing the NSA's wholesale violation of the Fourth Amendment through the dragnet surveillance of phone records and monitoring of internet traffic. Snowden was charged by the Obama administration's Justice Department with having violated the Espionage Act, specifically with, quote, unauthorized communication of national defense information and, quote, willful communication of classified communications intelligence information to an unauthorized person, end quote. In light of the Ninth Circuit's court's decision and in respect for the constitutional abuses exposed by Snowden's revelations, Congressman Gates took to Twitter to push for a presidential pardon for the NSA whistleblower. All right, so quote, as of today, the case has never been stronger that Edward Snowden deserves a pardon from President Trump. I would support a pardon for Edward Snowden, end quote, he said. Quote, if it were not for Snowden, we might not know today that our own government was engaged in an activity that now a federal appellate court has deemed illegal, end quote. As for the likelihood that Gates' request would be granted, it's difficult to know where President Trump falls on the issue. In 2014, President Trump called Snowden a, quote, traitor, end quote, and suggested he should be executed. Last week, though, the president appeared to have softened his stance on Snowden. Quote, there are many people, it seems to be a split decision that many people think that he should be somehow treated differently. And other people think that he did very bad things. And I'm going to take a very good look at it, end quote, the president told reporters. All right, so just 1 second here. So we've talked about this a little bit before on my segment when we deal with 5G and those kinds of the risk and the depth of the state surveillance. We've talked about that a little bit here on Black Spring. So with that said, I'm going to keep going. Hope you guys are doing well. And I did do a video on that. I did a couple of things in reference to Snowden, so we'll see what happens. Shout out to everybody in the stream. In fact, so we'll go into that issue just for a second. Now, this was back in the TNA's 3523. There's already a tremendous interconnected surveillance regime in place, erected largely on the back of 9/11 attacks and revealed most disturbingly by the whistleblowers such as William Binney and Edward Snowden. These surveillance regimes, which Binney argues conduct illegal surveillance on all Americans and were built with previous generation telecommunications and computing technology. And that's where the 5G comes in. With 5G, with advances in solid state storage, and with continuous advances in cloud computing, algorithmic analysis, and software, near future surveillance capabilities will dwarf those revealed by the post 9/11 whistleblowers. So there's your other landmine there. Shout out to everybody in the stream. Thank you guys so much for coming in. And I will finish this one up. All right. So as we go back into this, while it was the Obama Justice Department that charged Snowden with espionage, the head of the Trump DOJ, Attorney General William Barr, seems unwilling to take a second look at Snowden's case for pardon. Quote, he was a traitor and the information he provided our adversaries greatly hurt the safety of the American people, end quote, Barr said. Quote, he was peddling it around like a commercial merchant. We can't tolerate that, end quote. Barr's recalcitrance notwithstanding, Representative Gates believes that not only would a pardon benefit Edward Snowden, the cause of justice, but it would offer a potential political benefit for President Trump as well. Quote, got a lot of folks in Michigan and elsewhere that have the option of a libertarian candidate to vote for, end quote, Gates said. Quote, I think if President Trump were to pardon Edward Snowden, you would see just tremendous enthusiasm among libertarian-leaning voters for the president, end quote. Additionally, Gates suggests that Donald Trump's base expects him to be the straight shooter that he promised to be when he was running for president in 2016. There's nothing more maverick than bucking William Barr and many of the executives in Conservative Inc. and pardoning Snowden and bringing him home. Quote, it's what Trump promised us, that he would call a spade and that he wouldn't be beholden to doctrines of yesteryear that have constrained our country and that have empowered an incompetent government against our people, end quote, Gates said Thursday on his podcast, Hot Takes with Matt Gaetz. But yeah, take a look at Hot Takes with Matt Gaetz. All right, so we're going to round this one out, recognizing that there are many in his own party that oppose a pardon of Snowden and consider him a traitor. Gaetz proposed a compromise that he thinks could sway some of Snowden's detractors and convince them not to stand in the way of a pardon. Quote, maybe we can make the pardon conditional on Snowden's willingness to go back to work for our government and help us get the bad guys without violating the rights of American citizens, end quote. He added, quote, America first means the rights of American citizens first, and those rights would be vindicated with a pardon of Edward Snowden, end quote. America first is one of President Trump's premier policies, and one he declared from the outset of his presidency, proclaiming in his inaugural address, end quote, a new vision will govern. It's going to be only America first, end quote. Representative Gaetz' cause was aided by U.S. Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky, who announced his support for a presidential pardon of Snowden. Quote, Matt is right. This is important, at Snowden exposed illegal and unconstitutional action by the deep state, including Clapper and others who went after it, real Donald Trump, and lied about it, end quote, Paul tweeted. Gaetz' push for pardon received approval from a predictable account. Edward Snowden himself, who retweeted the link to Gaetz' podcast. As of the time of the writing this article, President Trump has not responded to Gaetz' proposal. What do you guys think on that? Shout out to everybody in the stream. Hope you guys are doing well. Ta-da-da! Look who's here. It's Cold War Jesus. Thanks so much, guys, for coming in. I really appreciate it. Hey, it's Alien Believers. How you doing, Alien Believers? Hope you guys are doing well out there. You guys boating around today? Anybody taken to the bay or to the seas or to the sky, or what are you doing? What are you doing on your Labor Day? I appreciate you for lending me your ear here on Black Spring. I really appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for coming in and taking care with those channelytics. And just trying to keep cool around here. Not to worry, I'll be back soon. All right. Shout out to everybody in the stream. Shout out to Old Head Deuce. Shout out to Cold War Jesus. Shout out to CLC in Florida. It's very interesting of Gaetz. Had some concerns about Gaetz in the past. I'm not sure. But I tell you what, it's going to expose more rhinos. Is what I can see. I can see that it would. So who else do we have? Old Head Juice, thank you so much for coming in. Alien Believers, thank you guys so much for taking care of the channelytics. Shout out to Chrysler Imperial Age. Shout out to DJ Vision Barnett. Shout out to JT Waterman. I thank you guys so much for all of you coming in on your holiday Labor Day. It makes a difference around here. It's nice to see you guys. All right, so we're gonna do maybe a couple more stories, and then we're gonna round this one out. Let's see, I'm gonna drop the link here just for a second in case anybody wants to speak up. 3 to 5 minutes. Appreciate you guys so much for coming in and keeping cool out here, wherever you are. All right, so we have we also have a wealthy college student here. So let me go ahead and take you to that. Coming from Breitbart, report for Breitbart. Put that on your screen. How are you guys doing out there? Just coming in. I appreciate it. Thank you for taking care with the channelytics. What you see before you is a story from Breitbart that says a wealthy college student from New York City was one of the 8 rioters accused of smashing windows, spraying graffiti in downtown Manhattan on Friday. She goes by the name of Clara Kraber, 20 years old, is a well-to-do Upper East Sider, whose mother is an architect for Kindred Works, which designs spaces for Columbia University and New York University. Her father is a child psychiatrist who teaches at Columbia's Department of Psychiatry, the New York Post reported. In 2016, the family purchased a $1.8 million 16th floor apartment on the East End Avenue. The family also owns a home in Litchfield County, Connecticut, with 4 fireplaces that date back to the 18th century. Kraber was one of 8 people arrested for allegedly causing more than $100,000 in damage during a 3-hour rampage for Foley Square to 24th Street. Far-left groups calling themselves the, quote, Revolutionary Abolitionist Movement, end quote, and the, quote, New African, that's with a K, Black Panther Party, end quote, organized the riot. But despite Kraber's lavish upbringing, she's no stranger to street protest. Now, why would she be? She's got pet projects, she's out here destroying things and I mean, this is what I'm talking about, people. Elite. And I've talked about this before. Historically, the elite is true to form. When you look at the past at the Bill Ayers and the Bernadine Dorrance, all these suburbanite or elite kids, they recruit people who are less well-to-do to go out and do these riots and destruction, and it's self-destruction as well. Burn down your own communities while I go back home to my 16th floor high-rise apartment or whatever in New York. Shoulder to shoulder, muzzle to muzzle. And see, this girl, she'll get into politics one day. Who knows? I mean, she'll become mayor. Do you see the lunacy here? Shout out to everybody in the stream. Says that, you're spoiled. She's probably out gut checking white people. Admit you're the oppressor. So yeah, I mean. Yeah, so let me finish this one out. So she interviewed with the New York Times in 2014, explaining why she joined a Manhattan rally on behalf of the Michael Brown shooting in Ferguson, Missouri. Kraber was a 14-year-old student at Hunter College High School at the time. Quote, "We don't have much political power right now being youths, but this is something we can do," end quote. She told the Times in 2014. Now she's a student at Rice University in Houston, according to her LinkedIn page. According to the Post, she was a member of the Rice Young Democrats and helped Beto O'Rourke try to unseat Senator Ted Cruz, Republican of Texas, in the 2018 Senate race. She faces a charge of first-degree riot and up to 4 years in prison if convicted. So what do you think the chances? What do you think what are you going to get? The poor little witch girl. What do you think she's going to get for her participation? Yeah, was Hollywood going to, are they going to put up the money? Are they going to put up the money for her to get her out? Her parents are clearly she's an elite. But she's out there standing shoulder to shoulder, muzzle to muzzle with kids that are probably black, or some of these paid protesters, or somebody that, for the lack of a better word, doesn't have a pot to pour piss in or a window to throw it out. Now that's as rank as I get here on Black Spring with Autumn. But hey, I'm not the originator of that. I'm just saying. But this is who's out here burning down these communities. Upper East Side Manhattanites. And as I said, she'll probably go into politics too. She'll be the next lawyer. She'll be the next Attorney General of New York. Oh, she might even go to San Francisco. Run for mayor. Can you guys see the pipeline here? Is it hard to tell? Shout out to everybody in the stream. Hello, it's the Definition of Anarchy. Thank you so much for coming in. How's your Labor Day going? Thank you so much for all that you do. Ladies and gentlemen, even though it's not a gross stream, I say all the time, get to know each other as covert as you please. You never know. You might find kindred spirits around here. You might. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody for being here. But yeah, that's very, it's interesting, but it's true to form. It's very organic. This girl's background. But they'll just tell, it's just peaceful protesters, It's like, but the thing is, there's no skin off of these people's noses. They just go out and tear up your communities, and then they go back to their 16th floor high-rise apartments with 18th century fireplaces to keep them warm after the chill of protesting. And yeah, they just go back to that. They're out here using blacks as useful idiots and flipping tables. Like what, they flipped tables in Rochester this weekend. So it's just, it's amazing. The hippos, I'm sick of the hippos. I really am. And like I said, these politicians that we haven't heard anything from, you just go back. We had 100 days of silence from some of these politicians and some of these pundits. They haven't said a thing about what's going on. And nobody's denounced BLM on the left, and nobody's denounced Antifa. But they're not going to. So we'll see. What did I say? We're under 60 days until this election, right? I mean, they've got a whole groundswell calendar. Shout out to everybody in the stream. All right, so take you out of the poor little witch girl. Take you out of the elite realm for just a second. Oh my gosh, old head juice.
Black Spring.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize. I'm sitting here and I realized you're down there. I'm like, gosh, this is old school.
Yeah, treat me like a ragamuffin.
No, never. Not here. How are you doing? Happy Labor Day to you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Happy Labor Day to you and the chat. Like to give a shout out to Definition of Anarchy. Outstanding commentary. But come on, play the Portland. Just for I don't want to say laughs, but just for comedy. For the sake of comedy on the Black Spring with Autumn channel. You gotta play it.
You want to play? What am I playing?
The Rochester, the BLM, and the you didn't see the guy throw the cocktail at I don't know if he threw it at the police, but
well, let me see if I can grab it somewhere.
Just for
Let me see, because it was old head. You can't make this stuff up. It's a it's a lot. It's just constant.
You have to trust me. You have to trust me on this one.
Yes. So give me just one second here. We'll make it real. We'll make it real on this Labor Day here. And it's nice to have you on. I mean, it's the first time I'm hearing your voice, so it's nice to put a voice with a name.
Oh
nice.
Yeah. Yes, likewise. You have great commentary, great rants.
You got some feedback here from the Definition. He's shouting you out.
Oh yeah. It's hard to do. The commentary that he's doing under duress is noteworthy. It's a very important skill to have.
So this is this is a very specific one you're wanting to see.
Yeah, if you go to Lassie Burholt, he's a photographer. He's getting very good footage. If not getting right in the middle, he has great. You can hear everything, and it's great. But he has those two on there.
Lassie Burholt. Okay.
L-A-
All right, it looks like well, this one's back to the 3rd. That's not the one I would imagine.
No, go down, scroll down a bit, or it was over the
see.
weekend.
Let me get to that.
You don't see the flames?
No. But this is I'm not familiar with this person. Thank you for sharing that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's crazy. You're pretty tuned and tapped in, old school. You're on it.
Yeah. Anything young people are doing, I try to support it.
Well, I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much for coming on. I'm trying to get to this. I mean, I said what I'm seeing is an older one, but what do you think about these things that are going on? Is this something that you do you think there's anything new under the sun here? I mean, what do you think about the dynamics and where we are? What do you think?
Nothing new under the sun. But the glass is half full at the same time, because I think people are counting young folks out, but they're able to retain knowledge a lot better, or handle the knowledge a lot better. They're not as overwhelmed. I think that that's a great intangible that the younger people have. You are processing a lot of knowledge at a better rate than we are. Whether they're educated or not, they're able to research and find out things for themselves. All we had was a Malcolm X book and like that. We didn't have internet and things like that. So I'm only 51. I'm not a
Well, hey, now that's a jewel. But at least at least you read the book. You didn't do photo ops and whatnot, and take pictures with your book open and not read it, right?
Oh no, I read everything. My mom read, so it made me read.
Well, you see that makes a difference, right? That's huge.
Oh yeah, huge. And you learn how to you learn how to educate yourself. I mean, I just got a dictionary and then let a word slide by. I didn't know what it meant. And just kept reading,
Right.
And what you read, But I don't know. I already had all these emotions. You know what I'm saying?
You said you've already had it.
Yeah. All of these emotions, I already had them. So not that it's comical, but when you see what's going on, is I have to look at it. You got to see that table flip. But anyway.
Well, I'm trying to find it. Let me see if it's on. He might have it on.
If I was on my laptop, I can send it. I need snaps. Okay.
What I'll do is I'll go in here and see. Let's see if I can find it.
BLM restaurant.
Okay, well, what I'm going to keep.
Mm-hmm.
I'll find it here in just a second. I can't. Honestly, I think it probably got past me somewhere along the lines, and this was in here. This was out of.
Tracy.
It looks like he has a web. Okay, I was spelling his name wrong for one. Okay, 6 hours ago. It's a Rochester one. It's a Rochester.
Yes, sorry.
All right. I got it. Thank you so much, Old Head. I appreciate it. Sorry for the delay there. It took me some time, but we'll make it work. Appreciate it. So I'm going to share this with you guys, courtesy of Old Head Juice. Thank you very much. So I'm going to pause it 1 second here. Yeah, Rochester was pretty violent this weekend. I really, they are just doing everything under the sun. I just think they've made threats over the weekend, and these people are still walking around.
Yeah, they're having their own personal George Floyd.
All right, here we go.
You throwing water in it. No, listen, that way. That shit ain't gonna work. They're saying about me. What the fuck up? If you ain't about to move it, then shut the fuck up. When you leave this meeting, if you're not ready, shut the fuck up. Stop fucking touching me. Stop touching me. Stop touching me. Stop touching me. Stop touching me. The battle is
Down, get lower.
If you refuse to leave the roadway, you will be placed under arrest on the charge of disorderly conduct. If you do not cooperate and accompany the arresting officer to the prisoner transport vehicle, or if you resist arrest,
All right. So I'm not. Is that what you were
No,
looking for?
that
Was
was the
it?
one. This one is funny. If you type in Black Lives Matter
Uh-huh.
restaurant protests,
Okay.
yeah, that wasn't funny.
No. Okay. Restaurant. You said. Yep. Let's see. And this is that's the Rochester restaurant, right?
Either Rochester or Portland.
Okay.
But
Let's see.
Lassie Burholt usually does Portland footage.
Okay, I have at least like 2 or 3 here. Restaurant goers. There's 2 here. I think they're both at the same. This one's at there's one in DC, and there's one from. I don't think this is the Weekend. I don't think this is his.
You might have taken it down or something. You didn't see the one that the guy on.
I saw it, but it was a few days ago that I saw that. I saw it. What I think I saw it on another social media.
Maybe I'm late.
No, I mean it was.
You mean we're talking about the guy with the hot foot, right?
Yeah. He was kind of hopping around, bouncing around, on fire.
He did a great job of not screaming.
I know.
I'm sorry. I just saw that. I must be late or something.
But there's just so many of them coming out. Like, what can you? It's
No. Why would you be out there throwing something like that? I mean, that's not to be played with. I mean, do they know the history of a Molotov cocktail, where it comes from in Hungary? What if they're playing with that?
I can't say where their logic comes from. I mean, it's not there.
Oh boy, that was so funny to me. I don't know. Maybe something wrong with me.
Okay, I think this might be it. I think I might have it here. Okay, so I'm gonna pause it. Maybe it's it. You want to see fire? Is where I'll go. Shout out to everybody in the stream. Thank you so much for Old Head Juice coming on. I'm going to share this with you guys.
we got the power. 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 They're a goddess worshiping society. Remember that, guys. Remember. I'm keeping this spit in. With your drugs. With
Mic check.
I'm
Mic
still
check.
here.
Hey, that's not it. That's Reuters or something. If you go to Lassie Burholt, this happened 1 day ago. LASSEBURHOLT.
Okay, hold on 1 second. I know I've seen it. Okay, let me click on his page.
I'll be right back. I gotta go get something. This is gonna be. You have to trust me on this, okay?
Yeah, well, I'm on here right now, and let's see. I'll subscribe to the
It's worth the fuss. Lassie Burholt, and then you go into his channel and go to
8 hours ago, maybe. Is that what
yes, but yeah, 1 day ago. Go to videos, go to his videos, not playlist, but videos, and it's gonna be a couple of scrolls down, maybe 2 scrolls down, because he has stuff from 6 hours ago. You know.
Okay, I have it now. I have a couple of multiple Molotov cocktails. I have it. Okay. All right. You saved the day. All right. Thank you so much for coming on and sharing that. All right. So 1 second, and here we go. Shout out to everybody in the stream. Okay. Here we go.
Leave the area immediately. This has been declared a riot. All persons must immediately leave the area by traveling to the east.
Fucking idiot.
All right. It looks like maybe we got closer to it on that one. Old Head Deuce, are you still there?
Yes, I'm here. That's not the one, but it shows part of it.
Okay, I have another one here.
Yeah, yeah. Show the other.
Hang on just a second here. Okay. All right. So 1 second. So you got the warning. The video contains content not suitable for all viewers. So if you guys are not ready, you don't have a strong stomach, I'm giving you fair warning right now. Okay. So here we go. there's actually another one on the page.
Okay,
Right.
yeah. If you go to his videos section and go down 9 videos, you'll see
Okay,
it.
I see it right now. Okay. All right. Shout out to everybody in this stream. Thanks so much.
It's worth the fuss. Just trust me.
We're going. Shout
This is what
out
I
to everybody. Okay, so we're gonna get this one right now. Thanks so much, guys, for your patience on Black Spring, and thanks so much for Old Head Dudes coming up to give us some.
He needs some help. I'm glad we're here to get him out today.
Fucking idiot. Smother it.
Here in Sherrill Park, this has been declared a riot. All persons must immediately leave the area by traveling to the east. Failure to adhere to this order may subject you to arrest, citation, or crowd control agents, including tear gas and/or impact weapons. Leave the area immediately.
So is that hot enough for you?
I can't get enough for that. I was the whole day. I kept going, and then my my people around me. Hey, you got a problem? That's I don't have a problem. That is comedy gold. That was for real. How could he not? I mean, you got to give him his props for not screaming. Man, he kept it cool.
He
Man,
did.
that was a hot
He
foot.
did.
That was a hot foot. Immediately, he was
He was dancing in the street.
he went right to dancing, and it was natural.
Yeah.
So he tried to stop, drop, and roll, and it wasn't working. And he still, I mean, I was like,
they kept yelling. They kept yelling it as, oh my gosh, he's doing all that. He's doing all that he can do because he's in control right now.
Yeah, if you're doing that, you better have some wet towels too. I mean, that's not true anarchy. That's just letting our frustrations out there playing with people who ain't playing. Here's the other one, the restaurant flip. Let me show you. Where's that? 1 second. That is. I have it.
Hot time in Old Town. JT Water, but thanks so much for that.
Let me find it. Yeah, all of this is 1 day ago or 2 days ago, like over the weekend. So here we go. If you go down, you're gonna go down. Let me see. From that video, you're gonna go down. You're gonna scroll 1. 14 down from 16 down from that one.
16 down from that one. From that one.
Yeah. You're gonna
starting with that one.
Yeah, 2 down from the Rochester when Haywire video. This all 1 and 2 days ago. You guys up on it.
It looks like I see it right here. Okay, well, maybe this is all right. So maybe I have the right one here. Hang on just a second. Shout out to everybody in the stream. So we're going to share this one. Wait a minute. Okay, this was. Thank you guys so much for coming in.
No, listen, that is. That shit ain't gonna work.
This ain't about me.
Fuck up. If you ain't about to move it, then shut the fuck up. When you leave this movement, this movement, if you're not ready, shut the fuck up.
Down, get lower.
Since you have refused to leave the roadway, you will be placed under arrest on the charge of disorderly conduct. If you do not cooperate and accompany the arresting officer to the prisoner transport vehicle, or
Good footage, but that wasn't it.
Yeah, I know. I saw one that was actually they were actually flipping the tables, and yelling and screaming and doing their thing.
Yeah, do that one.
Let me see.
That was
I'm seeing this. I saw it on another site, but let me see if it's here.
Thank you, Autumn. I appreciate it.
Sure. Let's see. Okay, I think okay, now here we go. Just more crazy makers. Can't beat the crazy makers.
I got a commentary on that after you.
All right. Okay, so just 1 second here. We're going to share this one. Thanks so much, guys, for coming out. Thank you guys so much for sharing your Labor Day here. Okay, so we have a little table flipping action going on for you.
if you don't give us our shit, if you don't give us our shit, don't shut shit down.
Nobody's hurting y'all. We're shutting the party down. Nobody's gonna touch you. We're shutting your party down. Calm down. Calm down.
All right. Crazy makers. What can I say?
Autumn, what's what you have for dinner? What's that? What's that? A mimosa? What you having out there? You enjoying your?
I don't know. It's we're just trying to stay cool around here. That's all we got.
out on the terrace, huh? Cheesecake, huh?
No, not quite. I mean,
Okay, all right.
Get us out of triple digits is all we want.
When I was in school, I had to sit through that civil rights movies and all that, where black people sitting in a restaurant, he dumping ice cream on their head, just disrespecting them just because they're black. This was like kind of a that's what that reminded me of. But
Yeah, well, that's. But you know, I just don't know how long this can go on. I
so
don't
I got a
know.
kick out of that. And then when they're like, yeah, and then he's like, you don't have to go.
Yeah, they need an audience. You know, they need you to stick around for the theater.
Look,
It's a stage. It's staged.
Times
All
is-
this stuff.
times are changing. You can't sit out in restaurants and stuff like that and ignore what's going on. You can't, it's a coronavirus. Where are the people's masks? You know what I'm saying? They out, they lounging, they're lounging. They're probably actually talking about what do you think about what's going on? One little more wine in your, and then it came to him right in his face. People are that mad, okay? People are that mad, and it's the government. No one is saying anything.
They're not doing anything. It's just
You're in they cause a problem, and then your behavior used to get you. It's kind of like a Chinese finger trap or something. You know what I'm saying?
a Chinese finger.
I got a kick out of that, dog. That's funny. I don't care.
I hear you. I mean, it's I don't know. It's nothing. It's just we're all desensitized at this point. It's not. But the thing about it is, like, what do you do when it comes to your neck of the woods? Is we're desensitized until it's on our doorstep.
And that's the thing. It's just, if you're a certain age and you're protesting, why not just get behind Ice Cube's narrative or something, or get behind After Energy News or Kedia Water? They all have reparations. They all have plans or things like that. Don't just you can get by. They didn't have anything when I was. They didn't have none of that.
Well, I'm telling you, I don't know. I don't see this at the ending of this. I don't.
Nah, Trump made what do you say? He made a comment about a plane full of thugs last week or something.
Yeah.
Do you know he was talking about INFAC?
Who?
INFAC.
INFAC?
He was talking about INFAC. Yep.
You know what? Were they on
Yes.
They were on the plane?
I guess they're on the plane. Yeah. That plane fed it up, wired up.
My gosh.
But just to make a slight remark, what, 200 or 300 dudes?
I tell you, honestly, I had no idea. I'm saying there's so many things that come out all day long, like so many bites that come out. Like, okay, what did he say?
I had to dig. I got that from she explained it to me in the chat on After Energy News. She explained in the chat that in fact had did something and he was commenting for that, but he didn't say their name. It was sneak this.
Yeah, I just don't know where we're going with all of this. I don't know. It's
you want to put pulled into a narrative that's not yours.
boy.
I'm even about to get gaslighted to death. That's all I'm saying.
I'm floored. I'm floored with all the craziness at this point. It's I can only. I mean, I have to. I need a diet. Like I need to redo my diet to take on all of this stuff. I mean, it's just. It's like they're rioting but look at New York. What is it? Cuomo said that who is it that made the comment that Trump can't come back to New York without an army? This is mafia talk. This is what is paper gangster talk. What are we doing? Like, what is this? What's going on?
Yeah. Where's the professional sector? Where's all these rich? Where's all these? Where's the Warren Elizabeth? Where are the? I mean, now that they're now that they're out, they don't have any commentary. They don't have anything to say. Biden not saying nothing. Didn't Biden go to Minnesota after Trump?
I think I did hear that he went there. and we did some kind of staging with a bunch of try to get a bunch of black people to get behind him, and I think somebody declined his little script or whatever. Read this. So some black girl, and I think she turned it down. So it's a mess. But yeah, so there was a story that I mean, Trump can't have enough bodyguards in New York. Cuomo.
I wouldn't say that to Trump.
What's that?
I wouldn't say that to Trump. He'll wait for the right time to come back with a more fluff, you know?
Yeah, but it's just like we don't have. Yeah, people
leadership. You don't have
doing.
leadership.
We're doing. What do you call it? And this might be wrong. Are they selling wolf tickets or whatever? What are they wolfing? What are they wolfing on these levels like this? This is horrible.
I don't know, it's a war. We don't control the narrative. Nothing's coming, like, you know, you're waiting for your narrative to come down the line. It's not coming down.
Nope.
But if I was your age, I would get behind Q's or what, some kind of written not manifesto. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. Just something written that's, you know, because IDOS is not cutting it. There's a lot of organizations not cutting it, but the people that I do see that have the best commentary are the small internet websites or chat rooms like this one. That's where you see.
Well, you know, I prefer some smaller YouTubers. I mean, I think, you know, it's just like anything. You know, when you get the social media juice, you know, you start to.
I don't think I listen to a big one.
No.
Maybe Star Report or something. I go in and I troll, but. And
you're a designated troll.
Oh yeah, terrible. But I'm not a troll here.
No, you're not.
Oh no.
You know, I don't know. It's a part of what trolling is a part of your charm. Why don't you just say that? We'll take it.
Oh yeah, but I'm on the definition of anarchy category. Yes.
Well, the thing about it is the larger YouTubers, you know, I think they're starting to blast them. You know, they're starting to get censored. And I'm going to be honest now. I'm not getting a dig in, and this is not hateration or whatever people want to call, whatever these millennials want to coin this. But, you know, I think that they had gotten, you know, that they had started, some of them have a bit, you know, a little bit of that too big to fail, or you're untouchable because you're reaching that $1 million, you're at that $1 million following plus mark and all this stuff. But they're still, you know, they're going after their channels. They're censoring them. I'm surprised that they waited as long as they did, because I'm just thinking they're censoring my stuff, and look at my following. You know,
all of your conversations, phone calls, whatever you put in the chat, all of your activity is being recorded, whether you know it or not. Like I was telling, who was I saying? Yeah, I was saying, what's his name? The guy that the WikiLeaks guy, not Assange, the guy in China.
Is it Snowden?
Snowden, yes. He might as well come home. I mean, everything he talked about is old technology. Yeah, they might just exonerate him.
Well, you know, I talked about that earlier today. I don't know if that's going to come to pass. You know, but see, it's going to expose more people, is what I figure it's going to do. So some of them are going to support it, and some of them are not. You know, but look, we have Lindsey Graham's. We have all these people. That, you know, they claim to be, you know, about justice or whatnot. Yeah, about, you know, cleaning things up. But what have they done? Like, look at even the Durham report. What are they on, some low-level criminal right now, or some low-level charge or whatever? Mm-hmm. And, you know, it's just, you know, everything is quiet. And my thing is now or never, if you ask me. If you don't do it now, if you don't get it done this time in this term, or if you don't make a huge strike, a huge dent or ding in it, it's not going to happen. This is it.
I'm already looking past the election. I mean, It's
Well,
like
you have to. You have to because I don't. Well, I think that's a little predictable too because you can't if everything's if everything's look what's happening now.
hmm yeah, it's like it's whatever's going on. That's like it's none of my business. It has nothing to do with us. That's how they're acting. That's how they're acting. They want something to happen, and but people not coming out of their comfort zone that easy.
No, they're not. They're
No,
not.
they're not. I seen the what's the I don't forget his name. Some big dude like, oh, we were supposed to go to here, but we got ended up coming here. We had no idea that you guys were out here protesting somewhere in Kentucky. I'm like, what are you out here? People out here fighting for their lives. What are you out here for? It's like the people at the restaurant. Don't be out here slipping. They got many Waffle Houses shot up in the lab.
Yeah, I mean
It's not. I'm not looking. Yeah,
it's
people
sticky.
out here. People are out here attacking the innocent people.
Yeah, they are, and I mean,
And
and I don't think that's going to stop. It's not going to stop. It's not, separation of powers. Da, 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 da. It's not. There's no end to this. I don't. I mean, some people will end it. Of course, it's like vote for us or else. But, Bernie Sanders and his management campaign, his campaign management said that the cities would burn if Bernie didn't advance. Well, look at it now.
Yeah, where's Bernie now?
We've been burning since what, May?
How many speeches or commentary has Bernie given since the DNC?
Well, he was on. He had a huge presence on. He was on just about every Zoom call. In fact, what was it? AOC. She actually endorsed him on, and I think she did it on purpose. Everybody was like, "Oh, she got the wrong candidate." No, that wasn't a joke.
It's a press release. It's just fluff. Just not a big deal. What is he doing to rock the boat?
I
mean, Trump has never said no reparations. But Biden said, if he could cuss, he'd be like, hell no. He just Camilla Harris too. Well, yeah, but
the worst candidate ever. The worst.
They could have picked a lot of. They could have got. They could have got Tulsi because she got sex appeal. They could have did her like what's her name, and a lot of people liked her. They thought she was sex Palin, whatever. I mean, they could have ran that. They also could have ran Cynthia McKinney if they were serious about what they were saying about a woman candidate.
Well, Tulsi is pretty much done. Like she's not even running for re-election on her own seat. I think she's doing a tour.
What about Warren? Warren would have got. Yep, closer to his age.
Yeah, I don't know, Warren. I'm sick of these.
Oh no, I don't. I don't watch it like that. It has to get my attention, and it does not. It's just that I've already heard all this. We need a president that's gonna bring up Freeway Rick.
You said Freeway Rick?
Oh, Freeway Rick. Oh, you don't know who Freeway Rick is?
No.
The movie will be out sooner or later, but he is the guy that the feds allowed to start the crack cocaine trade on the street level in the United States.
Oh.
Freeway Rick Ross. You don't know the story?
No.
CIA military slush fund funded it. Set up all through from Colombia all the way up through to California. It's Pablo Escobar stuff. Yeah, it's if you read about it. Matter of fact, they killed the reporter. I forget his name. Said he committed suicide, but it was like it was obviously it wasn't.
Well, yeah. It's definitely it's thick. It's thick. What's going on around here, and
But you know what? Look at it from this perspective. They're out of tricks.
Yep. Yep. It's desperation. It's
And
desperation.
do you know who they and them are? We go, oh man, those people over there trying to take us out, right? Those people are eugenicists and the like.
Well, sure. Sure. I mean, and they're not going to stop. I mean, there's stuff coming out all day, every day, but it just goes onto a pile of. It's there's so much news and so much everything is just kind of piling. It just piles on, and it never gets
It
never gets
it gets
reported.
so when it gets redundant, you have to go to the next level, which would be your commentary, your knowledge, your research. You're doing a great job. I
Oh,
didn't have this when I was your age.
you what?
I didn't
Thanks.
have this. I love the show.
I really appreciate that. I mean, there's. I mean, I think there's the buzz pieces that are out there. Those aren't you're not going to be short on those, but
But if it's comedy gold, you got to put it on. Come on. Come on.
yes, that was like I said, the thing about it is I notice if I miss one day of streaming, it's technically quite stale, and it's not stale in its
Who was putting the cheesecake in their mouth and they looked up?
it's stale in a different sense is what I'm saying.
That's not still. That's not still.
Some people like leftovers. Some people like they're better the next day.
Hey, that's a morsel. That was a treat. But besides that, it's redundant. I'm like, man, look at these. They're not, they're not talking to each other.
No.
And there's all kind of provocateurs, all that's in there. They're supposed to know that going out.
Well, hang on a second. I have a comment here from JT Waterman. He says Harris and Biden both just said the other day that they want this stuff to keep going long after the election, no matter who gets in the White House. Well, you see, if they want to tear everything down so they can enter the Green New Deal. The Green New Deal. Yeah, let's make us all debt slaves for another 100 years.
Okay, left foot Democrat, right foot Republican. They're still walking in the same direction. They're not pinching to the trees.
Well, honestly, I'm not even. To me, we're in no man's land at this point. We are. And I think it's more important to focus on what people actually do than what they're saying. I mean, one of the first things that I noticed was, well, not the first thing, but one thing that stood out to me, or one instance, Lindsey Graham has gotten up so many times, and he gets up with all these charts and all these papers, and he gets up with all of these props, and he had an opportunity to, subpoena? Was it to subpoena the phone records, or even during the Ukraine situation? But then he starts talking about how he and Joe Biden are friends. We're friends. He's a good guy. He's a good man.
I'm going to go after your phone records. It's going to take 2 or 3 months to get those files. Why it take 2 or 3 months?
Oh yeah, I do believe this is a part. I do believe that this is UN agenda, and all these points these things are going on the things that are being implemented. It's all about the New World Order. It's all about FDR basically coined the name of the UN, and I'm just saying that I think they've suspended the Constitution so many times to move things forward, to move their agendas forward. It's not even funny. It's not funny. Same thing with all of the, they talk about bringing jobs back to America. Well, the same people that are saying, oh yeah, we're going to bring the jobs back to America, they've been in Congress for 30 years, 40 years. So that means big chance you were there when they sent the jobs out. So we're supposed to believe you want to see Americans less dependent on China for drugs. You really?
Well, they got the money to pay people to think for them, and they think everybody's stupid. So I got the money. I'll just buy me a biochemist, and I just have a couple of guys come over from India, and I will, bypass your, it's reverse capitalism. in a sense. You know, what I'm saying I'll just go get some dudes from India, China. I go get and then but 30 years later, you got a different problem. You
Yeah,
made an
well,
accomplishment, but you got a whole lot of smart people working for a racist organization. I don't want to say racist. What's the word? Organization that does not have the people's interests. You know what I mean?
no, they don't. I mean, no, they don't. And I don't know. Like I said, there's a lot to be. I just, at this point, I just observe the behaviors because I'm not convinced. I mean, even Matt Gaetz, I've seen a lot of things out of rhinos, and I've seen a lot of things. You just, to me, it's infiltration on both sides. And,
yes,
and
that's what in the right.
they need to keep it up. They need to keep the division up. They need to keep the political theater. A lot of it's been political theater.
Did you hear something about a Republican? The guy crossed parties or something like that. He went Democrat.
You mean Kasich? John Kasich.
Made of, yeah.
Honestly, they had a lot of people, flipping, and you know what? I can't. I think I don't know if it was him. I know he was on their DNC.
Mm-hmm.
I know he did I know Kasich did a huge DNC a video standing in like outfielders and whatever.
Yeah. What is that supposed to mean? Like, what am I supposed to feel? Or what is that supposed to? He's in no
man's land too. Like, he's just, Washington is a nasty place, and that's what I'm saying, that even with these people that are running, I think it kind of comes down to, well, can this person be bought? Can this person be bought? You say, oh, I'm going to go there and I'm going to magic carpet ride into that.
I think it's more than that. I think it's more than that. Them getting bought is a power aspect to it.
Well, I'm sure it is.
It's like it's a secret government, and then there's their.
But you can't. It's just. They've been in there so long doing what they do. That's why I'm just thinking the whole drain the swamp thing. That's a mass operation. I mean, I don't know how you do that.
I choose reform over war, but they better get started. They're not even taking the simplest, thing, all this lobbyists and all that stuff. What do lobbyists get paid for? What does a virologist get paid for? I mean, it's just fluff to me.
It is.
I'll tell you what did it. It's a book called The Creature from Jekyll Island. You ever heard of it?
No.
Just look at it. It's a masterpiece. But I'll give you an example, which is not in the book, but it's an example from me reading the book and my observances. Remember T-Mobile and Sprint and AT&T? They had all these bad customers or bad credit. That was a problem for the phone industry, right? So you know what they did? They just traded customers. Remember that? You remember that?
I don't know. I can't say that.
Some of the old heads remember. A couple of years ago, you probably still in high school or junior high. You know what I'm saying? You still bagging and all that.
Oh no.
Picking on, bullying kids and all that. You still smacking and tapping. Yeah.
No.
Kicking bras in that.
Not quite.
Hey, you from LA? Yeah, you from Cali? Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
I've been around is all I can say on that. I've been around and.
Well, you got your old show and nobody messing with you, so you did something.
Well,
I'm poking fun at.
What did I say? I try to stay in the fight wherever you are, wherever that is.
Yeah. So,
wherever that is. But yeah, I appreciate you for coming on, and don't be a stranger.
Yeah, I'll be back. You guys have a good day, and I'll be in touch.
Okay. All right. Thanks so much for coming on, Old Head, for sharing. Thanks so much. Bye-bye. All right, guys. Thanks so much. That was Old Head Deuce on the virtual lines here at Black Spring. And I appreciate him so much for coming up. So I appreciate you guys all for sharing some time here on this Labor Day Monday, and we're gonna pack it up and fold it in. And you guys stay cool wherever you are, and I will see you guys later. Who knows? Who knows if a live stream's not in order, a flash stream or moonlight stream? But I will see you guys later, and gonna try to cool down. Thanks so much, CLC in Florida. So shout out to everybody. This is our last call on the shout outs, and then we're gonna roll out. Shout out to JT Waterman, CLC in Florida. Thank you so much for coming on. Thank you so much, CLC. Appreciate it. Shout out to Philip J. Turner. Old Head News was fun. And shout out to Cold War Jesus. Thank you guys so much for all that you do. And we'll keep our ear to the grind on Snowden and even the Occupy Wall Street anniversary that's coming up. So thank you guys so much for coming in, and shout out to the Definition of Anarchy. Shout out to Alien Believers, and shout out to all my friends over on Periscope. I called you Periscopians, which that was heavy, wonky, but all in good spirits. Shout out to Chrysler Imperial H, Alien Believers, and JT Waterman, Cold War Jesus, the Definition of Anarchy. Thank you so much for coming in. And you guys have a great day. And need I say, have a safe rest of the day and stay cool. Get your cooling towel. Thank you so much, CLC. And you guys enjoy.